How to fix your business with Vastu. The timeless blueprint for modern success. 1. The core architecture. The flaw in the machine. Is your business stuck? Do you feel like you are working harder than ever, pushing all the right buttons, yet getting nowhere? Are you constantly putting out fires, lurching from one crisis to the next, feeling like your entire enterprise is fragile and perpetually on the verge of collapse? If so, you are not alone. And the problem is not your work ethic. The problem is the blueprint you are using. We are taught to see business as a machine. We talk of sales funnels, production lines, and human resources as if they were interchangeable cogs. We optimize each part in isolation, believing that efficiency in one department will automatically translate to success for the whole. But this mechanical model is fundamentally flawed because a business is not a machine. It is a living system. Like any living thing, it requires more than just fuel and maintenance. It needs balance, rhythm, and a connection to a deeper source of energy. Forcing it to run at 100% capacity, 24/7, under the constant glare of artificial pressure is like trying to live in a windowless shopping mall. You can achieve a kind of mechanical stability for a while, but you feel drained, disoriented, and disconnected from life itself. This disconnection is the root cause of corporate burnout, strategic drift, and the quiet desperation that pervades so many modern workplaces. This book offers a different blueprint. It is a time-tested system drawn from the ancient architectural wisdom of Vastu Shastra, a science dedicated to creating spaces and systems that are in profound harmony with the laws of nature. We will deconstruct this ancient wisdom and reassemble it into a powerful, practical model for diagnosing and fixing the imbalances in your modern business. This is not a book about superstition or quick-fix trends. It is a book about systems thinking. It will give you a new language and a new map to see the hidden energetic flows within your organization. You will learn to identify why your sales are stalling, why your team lacks motivation, or why cash flow is always a problem. More importantly, you will learn practical, actionable steps to restore balance. You will learn to see your business not as a fragile machine to be constantly repaired, but as a living, breathing mandala. A symmetrical and resilient structure capable of weathering any storm and achieving sustainable, meaningful success. This is the ancient blueprint for modern success. This is how you fix your business. 1.1 The foundation. Before we can diagnose the complex issues in our operations, we must first check the ground on which we stand. In the Vastu mandala, the down direction, known as Adho or the nadir, represents the unshakable foundation. It is the connection to the earth, the source of all material stability. An architect would never dream of building a skyscraper on a swamp. Likewise, a CEO cannot build a resilient enterprise on a weak foundation. Many business problems that appear to be about strategy or sales are, in fact, symptoms of a crumbling base. A weak foundation cannot support weight. As your business grows, adding more employees, more clients, and more revenue, the pressure on your foundation increases exponentially. A small crack in the beginning can become a catastrophic failure under load. Therefore, the first step in fixing your business is to audit the 3 pillars of your foundation with ruthless honesty. The 3 pillars of your foundation. The foundation of your business rests on 3 critical pillars. A weakness in any one of these can compromise the entire structure. First is your legal and corporate structure. This is the legal bedrock of your enterprise. It is often overlooked in the rush of early-stage growth but becomes critically important as you scale. A healthy legal structure is the first line of defense against existential threats. It provides the clarity and protection necessary for bold action. When this pillar is weak, with issues like improper incorporation or flimsy contracts, the entire business is exposed to unnecessary risk, creating a constant undercurrent of anxiety that stifles growth. Second is your physical and digital infrastructure. This is the concrete and steel of your business. It includes your physical workspace, your manufacturing equipment, and, increasingly, your digital infrastructure, servers, software, cybersecurity, and data management systems. This pillar represents the tools and environment that enable your team to do their best work. A poor infrastructure creates constant friction, drains energy, and kills productivity, while a robust infrastructure acts as a force multiplier, making every process smoother and more efficient. Third is your core capital and assets. This is the tangible, material value your business possesses. It is your financial reserves, your real estate, your valuable equipment, and your proprietary datasets. This is the rich soil from which all future growth will spring. A business with strong capital reserves has the freedom to be proactive, to seize opportunities, to weather downturns, and to make decisions based on long-term strategy rather than short-term desperation. Before you read any further, take a serious look at your foundation. Is it solid? Are there cracks that need mending? Fixing these foundational issues is the essential first step. No amount of strategic genius or marketing flair can compensate for a business built on unstable ground. 1.2 The center at the geometric heart of every Vastu mandala lies the Brahmasthan, the central, empty space. It is the unmoving pivot, the silent eye of the storm around which all activity revolves. In ancient temples, this area was kept open to the sky, connecting the structure to the infinite. It is the source point of energy, the hub of the entire system. In your business, the Brahmasthan represents its core identity and leadership. It is the CEO, the executive team, and the non-negotiable values that define the character and culture of the organization. It is the who and the core how of your enterprise. Its function is not to do all the work, but to hold the entire system in a state of coherent balance. A business with a strong Brahmasthan has a powerful, quiet confidence. It can move with speed and agility because it has an unshakable core of stability and purpose guiding its every action. Holding the vision and maintaining focus. The daily operations in the outer zones are a whirlwind of activity, sales calls, production deadlines, customer issues. It is easy to get lost in this tactical doing. The primary role of the leader at the center is to remain connected to the why, the company's core mission. They act as the unwavering gyroscope, constantly pulling the organization back on course when it drifts. If a new, profitable opportunity arises that contradicts the company's core values, it is the center's job to say no, preserving the integrity of the whole. Being the conductor of the orchestra, a business is composed of different departments, each with its own rhythm and goals. Sales wants to move fast and break things. Finance wants stability and control. R&D wants time and resources to explore. Left to their own devices, these domains will pull the company apart. The leader at the center is the conductor, ensuring that all these different instruments are playing the same piece of music in harmony. They must listen intently, sense where the imbalances are, and make the subtle adjustments needed to bring the entire system into tune. Embodying and radiating the core culture. Culture is not what you write on a poster, it is what you live from the center. The leader's personal integrity, work ethic, communication style, and resilience become the energetic signature of the entire company. A frantic, chaotic leader radiates anxiety and creates a culture of firefighting. A calm, stable, and transparent leader radiates confidence and creates a culture of trust and psychological safety. The Brahmasthan is a broadcast tower, and the leader's character is the signal it transmits. 1.3 The vision with a solid foundation beneath this and a stable center within. We now look to the final dimension of our core architecture, the up direction, or urdhva. This is the zenith, the connection to the sky, the infinite. It represents the guiding star of your enterprise, your highest purpose, your ultimate vision. A business without a vision is a boat without a rudder, adrift on the sea of commerce. It may be busy, it may even be moving, but it has no destination. It reacts to the winds and tides of the market but cannot chart its own course. This lack of direction is exhausting for the crew and ultimately leads nowhere. A compelling vision, on the other hand, is a powerful gravitational force. It pulls the entire organization forward, gives meaning to the daily struggle, and aligns every action toward a common, inspiring goal. It answers the most important question of all. Why do we do what we do? Defining your zenith. From mission to legacy, your vision is more than just a catchy slogan. It's a multi-layered declaration of intent. First is the mission statement. This is the most practical layer, a clear, concise statement of what your business does, who it serves, and what makes it unique. It grounds your vision in reality. For example, our mission is to provide independent bookstores with the software tools to compete effectively with online giants. Second is the vision statement. This is the emotional and aspirational heart of your enterprise. It describes the future state you are working to create and the change you wish to see in the world. For example, our vision is a world where vibrant, local communities are supported by thriving independent bookstores. This is the why that inspires passion and commitment. Third is the legacy. This is the deepest layer. What lasting impact do you want to have long after you are gone? Contemplating your legacy clarifies your deepest motivations and ensures your actions are aligned with your long-term values. The vision as a practical tool. The vision is not a soft concept, it is a hard-nosed business tool. It's a filter for decisions, a magnet for talent, and a source of resilience. When faced with a difficult choice, you can ask, which option moves us closer to our vision? This cuts through ambiguity. The best people don't just work for a paycheck, they work for a purpose. A clear vision attracts players who are intrinsically motivated. During tough times, it is the vision that provides the strength to persevere. 2. The 4 domains of governance. Introduction to Part 2. The 4 great domains. With our vertical axis of foundation, center, and vision established, we now turn to the horizontal plane. This is the landscape of day-to-day operations. The Vastu mandala divides this landscape into 4 primary territories, or domains, governed by the cardinal directions. Think of these as the 4 great colleges of your business university. Each is a complete system with its own purpose and its own internal processes. A resilient business is not one that is strong in just one domain, but one that maintains a dynamic balance between all 4. A common reason businesses fail is an obsessive focus on one domain at the expense of the others. This creates a dangerous imbalance. In the following chapters, we will map these domains and explore the 4-stroke engine of action that powers the work within each one, learning to see our business as a complete, harmonious system. 2.1 The East. The domain of inception and vision. The East is the direction of the rising sun. It is the source of new light, new beginnings, new energy, and new ideas. In your business, the East is the domain of inception. It governs strategy, research and development, and the conception of all new projects. It is where the future of your company is born. Governing principle. Strategy and innovation. An organization weak in the East is always reactive, always fighting yesterday's battles with yesterday's products. It is constantly being surprised by market shifts and competitor moves. A strong East, however, ensures the organization is proactive. It dedicates resources to looking over the horizon, anticipating trends, and actively creating its own future. The East's internal cycle. Every strategic initiative or new product idea within the East domain follows its own creative cycle. 1. Nay. Sourcing new ideas. This is the intake stroke. The R&D team conducts market research, the strategy team analyzes competitive landscapes, and the whole company culture is open to inspiration from any source. This is the process of gathering the raw material of potential. 2. SE. Prototyping and testing. This is the combustion stroke. Ideas are not enough, they must be forged in the fire of experimentation. This is where prototypes are built, hypotheses are A/B tested, and business models are war-gamed. Energy is expended to see what works and what doesn't. 3. SW. Finalizing the blueprint. This is the power stroke. After rigorous testing, a decision is made. The winning idea is refined into a stable, coherent plan. This is the creation of the final blueprint for a new product, a new marketing strategy, or a new corporate direction. 4. NW. The handoff. This is the gateway stroke. The work of the East is complete. The finalized blueprint is now formally handed off to the other domains. The strategic plan is delivered to the CEO. The new product design goes to production, and the market analysis goes to sales. 2.2 The South. The domain of power and expression. The South is the direction of the midday sun. It is the zone of maximum energy, heat, visibility, and power. In your business, the South is the domain of power and expression. It governs marketing, sales, brand reputation, and production. It is where plans are transformed into action and where the company makes its vibrant, powerful mark on the world. Governing principle. Action and reputation. A business weak in the South has brilliant ideas that never see the light of day. It is a best-kept secret. Its production lines are inefficient, its marketing is invisible, and its sales team lacks drive. A strong South, by contrast, has a powerful engine and an undeniable charisma. It executes its plans with energy and builds a brand that commands attention and respect in the marketplace. The South's internal cycle. Every sales campaign and production run follows this energetic cycle. 1. Nay. Planning the campaign. The process begins by receiving the blueprint from the East. The marketing team plans the campaign, The sales team sets its targets, and the production team schedules its run based on the new design. 2. SE. Execution. This is the fire of action. The ads are run, the sales calls are made, the factory floor hums with activity. This is the high-energy phase of doing, persuading, and building. It is loud, passionate, and focused on output. 3. SW. Securing the result. The kinetic energy of the SE phase is now grounded into a stable outcome. A major sale is closed, a production quota is met, a marketing campaign achieves its target reach. This is the moment of commitment and tangible achievement, where effort is converted into a solid win. 4. NW. The handoff. The work is done. The closed deal is handed off to finance for invoicing. The finished product is handed off to logistics for delivery. The brand's success story is broadcast to the world, reinforcing its reputation. 2.3 The West. The domain of profit and fulfillment. The West is the direction of the setting sun. It is the time of harvest, of gathering the fruits of the day's labor and ensuring nothing is wasted. In your business, the West is the domain of profit and fulfillment. It governs customer success, logistics, and the collection of all tangible gains, be it revenue, data, or customer loyalty. Governing principle. Results and retention. A business week in the West is a leaky bucket. It might make many sales but fails to deliver efficiently, satisfy customers, or even collect payments. This is unsustainable. A strong West ensures that every effort yields a profitable and lasting result, turning one-time customers into loyal advocates. The West's internal cycle. The journey of an order from payment to satisfaction follows this cycle. 1. Nay. Receiving the order. The cycle begins when the West receives a closed deal from the South. The logistics team plans the shipment, and the customer success team prepares for onboarding the new client. 2. SE. The act of delivery. This is the active process of fulfillment. The package is shipped, the software is installed, the consulting service is rendered. This is the phase where the promise made by the South is now being actively and energetically kept. 3. SW. Ensuring satisfaction. The delivery is complete, but the job is not. This phase is about ensuring the customer is happy and the outcome is stable. This involves quality checks, follow-up calls, resolving any issues, and ultimately securing a positive review or testimonial. This grounds the transaction in mutual satisfaction. 4. NW. The handoff. The fulfilled customer is now a valuable company asset. The positive testimonial is handed back to marketing. The data on customer usage and feedback is handed to R&D. The confirmation of a successful delivery allows finance to close the books on the transaction. 2.4 The North. The domain of resources and operations. The North is the direction of stillness, night, and treasure. In the Vastu tradition, it is governed by Kubera, the treasurer of the gods, who guards the accumulated wealth of the cosmos. In your business, the North is the domain of resources and operations. It governs finance, HR, administration, and all internal systems that provide stability and support to the entire organization. Governing principle. Stability and opportunity. This domain is the quiet foundation of prosperity. A business weak in the North constantly struggles with cash flow, has high employee turnover due to poor support, and suffers from chaotic internal processes that drain energy from everyone. A strong North provides the financial security, the talented team, and the operational excellence that allows all other domains to function effectively and confidently. The North's internal cycle. Any internal process, like hiring or budgeting, follows this cycle. 1. Nay. Budgeting and sourcing. This cycle can be triggered by a request from another department or by the strategic financial calendar. This phase involves defining the need, setting the budget, sourcing candidates, or planning new internal systems. 2. SE. Investment and implementation. This is the active process of resource management. The interviews are conducted, the funds are invested in new equipment, the new accounting software is implemented across the company. 3. SW. Finalizing the commitment. A decision is finalized and stabilized. The new employee is hired and a contract is signed. The investment is secured. The audit is completed and signed off. This brings stability and certainty to the operation. 4. NW. Distributing the resource. The work of the North is to empower the other domains. The newly hired engineer is handed off to their team in the South or East. The newly secured capital is distributed according to the budget. The operational capacity of the business is enhanced, ready for the next cycle of growth. 3. The flow of value. The reality of flow. Having mapped the 4 primary domains, we now focus on how value and work actually move through the system. A business is not static, it is a dynamic entity defined by the constant flow of information, money, and energy between its various parts. This section explores the practical realities of that flow, moving from the architectural blueprint to the kinetic energy of a living organization. We will look at the critical handoffs that make or break efficiency, the flexibility of the system to accommodate different business models, and the fractal patterns that repeat at every scale. 3.1 The Gateway Protocol. Mastering the handoff. An organization is not just a collection of independent departments, it is an interconnected ecosystem. The most critical, and often most problematic, points in any business are the handoffs between these domains. In our model, this is the Gateway Protocol, the transition from one department's NW stroke to another's NE stroke. Think of it as a relay race. It doesn't matter how fast each individual runner is if they fumble the baton pass. A fumbled handoff, a sales contract with missing information, a product shipped to the wrong address, a new hire with unclear responsibilities, brings the entire process to a grinding halt. It creates friction, wastes energy, and fosters interdepartmental resentment. Mastering the Gateway Protocol means designing clean, clear, and efficient interfaces between your teams. It's about asking critical questions and standardizing the answers. What is the absolute minimum information production needs from sales to begin their work flawlessly? Create a standardized handoff form. What confirmation does finance need from logistics to release an invoice without error? Automate this confirmation. What specific feedback format does R&D need from customer success to make the data useful? Create a structured feedback channel. Mapping and optimizing these gateways is the key to unlocking true organizational flow. It transforms a series of disjointed tasks into a single, smooth, and efficient value-creating stream. 3.2 The asynchronous flow. Payment before versus after shipping. The fractal mandala is a map of potentials, not a rigid, unchangeable timeline. A common point of confusion is the sequence of operations. Does finance always come after fulfillment? Does sales always precede production? Not necessarily. The beauty of this model is its flexibility to map any valid business process, revealing the underlying energetic flow. Let's consider 2 common scenarios that illustrate this asynchronous nature. First is Scenario A, the e-commerce store. In this model, the customer pays up front. The process flow is: the customer completes the checkout. The NW gateway of the North domain is triggered first, as payment is confirmed and capital is secured. This confirmation then triggers the NE intake of the West domain to begin the picking, packing, and shipping process. Here, the value flow is Northwest. Financial stability precedes the act of fulfillment. Second is Scenario B, the B2B consulting firm. In this model, the service is rendered first, and an invoice is sent later. The process flow is: the consulting project is completed and signed off by the client. The NW gateway of the West domain is triggered first. This confirmation of successful delivery then triggers the NE intake of the North domain to issue an invoice and begin the collections process. Here, the value flow is West-North. The Vastu principle holds true in both cases. The integrity of each domain and the clarity of the gateway between them are what matter. The model is robust enough to accommodate different sequences, proving its value as a universal system for mapping business logic, not just a single, fixed procedure. 3.3 The story cycle. The 8-step clock in action theory is best understood through practice. To make the mandala tangible, let's walk through a common business story using the simplified 8-step clock. This integrates the cardinals and corners into a single narrative flow, following the intuitive clockwise path of the sun's energy to show how a project moves from conception to completion. The story of a new service launch. The story begins in a moment of quiet strategic thinking. The leadership team has a flash of insight for a new service offering that could tap into an underserved market. The idea is born in a space of pure potential. The idea is formalized into a strategic initiative. A project team is assembled, a budget is approved, and the official go signal is given. This is the official new beginning, full of optimism and the energy of a new day. SE. The marketing and sales teams swing into high gear. They build a marketing campaign, run ads, and start making calls. This is the heat of active outreach, a period of high energy and persuasive effort to generate leads. S. The campaign hits its stride. The brand achieves peak visibility and recognition in the target market. A major potential client, a perfect fit, shows strong interest and becomes the primary focus of the sales effort. SW. The sales team engages in deep negotiations with this key client. This phase requires all their skill and mastery to handle complex questions, customize the proposal, and build the deep trust needed for a major commitment. W. The hard work pays off. The contract is signed. The harvest of this cycle, the new client and the associated revenue, is secured and brought into the company, representing the tangible results of the day's work. Northwest. The signed contract and all relevant client details are cleanly handed off from the sales team to the service delivery team. The gateway is crossed, and the new customer is formally and smoothly onboarded into the system. N. The finance team processes the initial payment. The project team holds a post-mortem to review the successful sales cycle, consolidating their learnings. The teams rest and recharge before embarking on the next strategic push. The cycle is complete and has yielded a profit in both capital and knowledge. You are adding a single step. The true power of the mandala model is its fractal nature. The same patterns repeat at every level of magnification. A system that governs the entire company also governs a single meeting. This principle allows you to use one simple framework to bring coherence and intention to every aspect of your work, no matter how small. Let's take one step from our previous story, the negotiation meeting. This single, complex step is, itself, a complete Vastu mandala. Let's see how a masterful salesperson navigates this microcycle within the larger negotiation meeting, using the 8-step clock as their guide. The mini-cycle of a negotiation meeting. Nay. Before the meeting even begins, the salesperson enters their northeast phase. They clarify their goals, review their notes on the client's deepest needs, and visualize a positive, mutually beneficial outcome. They prepare themselves to enter the room with a clear, calm mind. E. The meeting officially begins. The salesperson sets a positive, forward-looking tone with a clear statement of purpose and a collaborative opening, establishing the new beginning of this crucial conversation. SE. This is the core of the discussion, the high-energy, fire phase. The salesperson presents their final proposal, skillfully handles tough objections, and passionately argues the value of their case. This requires significant social and intellectual energy. S. At the opportune moment, the salesperson makes their power move. This might be offering a final, key concession, or highlighting the single most compelling, undeniable benefit of their offer. The goal is to achieve a moment of peak influence and clarity. SW. This is the moment of truth. The salesperson must now ground the high energy of the discussion into a stable commitment. They ask for the decision. Based on everything we've discussed, are we ready to move forward with this? This turns an abstract conversation into a concrete, yes or no question. W. The client agrees. The handshake happens, the verbal, yes, is secured. The primary result of the meeting, the agreement, is successfully harvested. Northwest. The salesperson concludes the meeting with a clean, gateway, transition. They clearly outline the immediate next steps. Excellent. I will send over the final contract for your signature by 5 p.m. today. This ensures a smooth handoff to the next phase of the process. N. After the meeting, the salesperson completes the cycle. They update the company's CRM system, inform their team of the success, and, just as importantly, take a moment to mentally reset and manage their own energy before their next task. This fractal scalability demonstrates that you can bring the same level of intention and strategic thinking to a 1-hour meeting as you do to a 1-year business plan. Every action can be a complete, harmonious cycle. 4. The resilient leader. The fourfold path of leadership. A well-designed business is like a finely tuned instrument, but an instrument needs a musician to bring it to life. The leader is the ultimate integrator of the system. To lead a balanced organization, the leader must themselves embody balance. This requires mastering the 4 distinct energy modes represented by the 4 cardinal directions. A resilient leader is not a one-note personality. They are a full-spectrum musician, able to fluidly shift their style and focus to play the right note at the right time, guiding their organization with wisdom and agility. 4.1 The Eastern Leader. The visionary. This is the leader in the mode of rising energy. This is the mindset required for strategy, innovation, and new beginnings, mirroring the optimism and potential of the dawn. The Eastern leader asks the crucial forward-looking questions. What's next? What is on the horizon? Where are we going? What new world are we trying to create? To cultivate this, a leader must carve out and fiercely protect time for deep, uninterrupted thought. They must shield their team from the tyranny of the urgent to allow space for creativity. They must foster a culture of psychological safety where new, even radical, ideas are welcomed and explored, not feared or dismissed. This is the leader as Chief Visionary Officer. 4.2 The Southern Leader. The performer. This is the leader in the mode of peak energy. This is the mindset for action, motivation, and public expression, reflecting the power of the midday sun. The Southern leader asks the questions of momentum and impact. Are we moving with enough energy? Are we inspiring our team and the market? Are we executing with passion and conviction? This requires the leader to be visible, charismatic, and courageous. It's about being the cheerleader, the general who leads the charge into a competitive market, and the public face of the brand who can captivate an audience. This is the leader as Chief Motivating Officer. 4.3 The Western Leader. The harvester. This is the leader in the mode of setting energy. This is the mindset for focusing on results, ensuring quality, and consolidating gains, much like a farmer harvesting the crops at sunset. The Western leader asks the questions of accountability and fulfillment. Did we achieve our stated goal? Is the customer truly happy? What are the tangible, measurable results of all our efforts? This requires a focus on data over ego, an obsession with customer success, and the discipline to see projects through to profitable completion. It's about ensuring the harvest is brought in successfully. This is the leader as Chief Results Officer. 4.4 The Northern Leader. The steward. This is the leader in the mode of restorative energy. This is the mindset for managing resources, building stable systems, and ensuring the well-being of the team, reflecting the quiet, consolidating energy of night. The Northern leader asks the questions of sustainability and security. Are our financial foundations secure? Is our team supported and healthy? Do we have the resources for the next cycle? This requires prudence, empathy, and a long-term focus on operational excellence. It's about tending to the home base, ensuring the treasury is full, and the team is healthy and ready for the next day's work. This is the leader as Chief Operating Officer. 4.5 The Complete Leader. The sine wave of command. A leader cannot live in one mode alone. The visionary, who never executes, is a daydreamer. The performer, who never rests, burns out. The harvester, who never innovates, becomes obsolete. The steward, who never takes risks, stagnates. The true art of leadership is to flow between these 4 modes as needed, like the sun moving through its daily cycle. This is the sine wave of command. There are times for bold, expansive action and times for quiet, restorative planning. The resilient leader understands that the trough is not a failure, it is a necessary and productive part of the cycle that makes the next peak possible. By aligning their leadership style with this natural, cyclical rhythm, pushing hard, then deliberately consolidating and resting, the leader creates a sustainable pace for themselves and their entire organization, preventing burnout and fostering long-term success. 5. The Resonant Enterprise. From blueprint to breathing system, we have built the architecture, the body, of the business. We have explored the leadership required to operate it. Now, in this final part, we learn to give it a soul. We move beyond the purely mechanical to understand the subtle, living energies that truly govern success and fulfillment. We will explore the ancient archetypes associated with each direction, not as figures of worship, but as powerful psychological symbols for the cosmic forces we are aligning with. We will learn how to diagnose an out-of-tune business and apply practical remedies to restore harmony. This is how we turn the blueprint into a breathing, resonant enterprise. 5.1 The Eightfold Path to a Harmonious Business. A business that is out of tune with its natural energetic flow exhibits clear, diagnosable symptoms. This chapter provides a complete toolkit for identifying these imbalances and restoring harmony through focused, intentional actions. 5.2 The Northeast Zone of Consciousness. The Northeast is the most sacred and subtle direction, associated with the archetype of Ishana, a form of Shiva representing pure, undisturbed consciousness. It is the source of all true inspiration. The problems in a weak Northeast are a pervasive brain fog, creative blocks, strategic confusion, a lack of genuine innovation, and a leadership team that feels perpetually stuck in the weeds. The remedy is to cultivate stillness and clarity. Spatially, keep this area of your office or desk impeccably clean, light, and uncluttered. It should feel open and serene. As a process, schedule and fiercely protect white space, time for deep thinking, and institute device-free strategic meetings. Symbolically, a small, clear water feature or a polished quartz crystal can serve as a physical anchor for the mental clarity you seek. 5.3 The East Zone of New Beginnings. The East is the direction of the rising sun, governed by the archetype of Indra, the king of the gods. He represents bold leadership and the courage to start new ventures. The problems in a weak East manifest as corporate timidity, hesitation, a paralyzing fear of taking calculated risks, and being consistently outmaneuvered by competitors. The business feels passive, always on the defensive. The remedy is to practice intentional boldness. Spatially, ensure your company's main entrance, its energetic East, is impressive and welcoming to new opportunities. As a process, hold regular strategy meetings focused exclusively on future growth, not past problems. Symbolically, use colors of new growth, like vibrant greens, or place a healthy, thriving plant to represent new life and vitality. 5.4 The Southeast Zone of Action and Transformation. The Southeast is the zone of fire, ruled by the archetype of Agni, the god of transformation and passion who turns potential into kinetic energy. The problems in a weak fire zone are easy to spot: low sales, a lethargic team, stalled projects, and poor cash flow. A sign the business cannot efficiently digest its revenue. The remedy is to stoke the fire. Spatially, this is the ideal zone for high-energy activities like your sales team or kitchens. As a process, institute high-energy daily team huddles, and celebrate small wins publicly to fuel motivation. Symbolically, use red or triangular shapes sparingly but powerfully on key calls to action to activate this energy. 5.5 The South Zone of Reputation and Discipline. The South is the zone of peak power and public reputation, governed by Yama, the archetype of Dharma, law, and absolute integrity. The problems here damage your most valuable asset, your reputation. They appear as inconsistent quality, ethical shortcuts, and a culture of blame. The remedy is to commit to unwavering discipline. Spatially, display company awards and your mission statement to project authority. As a process, implement and rigorously enforce non-negotiable quality control standards and a public code of ethics. Symbolically, your branding should feel as solid and dependable as Yama's law. 5.6 The Southwest Zone of Skill and Stability. The Southwest is the zone of grounding, ruled by the archetype of Niruti, a force that demands absolute mastery. Its ancestors aspect relates to your institutional knowledge and most senior experts. The problems here are costly: high turnover of skilled employees and deals that fall apart at the final stage. The remedy is to honor and invest in mastery. Spatially, this is the ideal location for the CEO or senior experts, using heavy, stable furniture. As a process, create mentorship programs to retain knowledge and publicly reward employee mastery and loyalty. Symbolically, use square shapes and earthy tones to enhance the feeling of stability. 5.7 The West Zone of Profits and Contracts. The West is the zone of the harvest, governed by Varuna, the keeper of promises and cosmic law who ensures actions lead to just results. The problems here mean your hard work isn't paying off, manifesting as low profitability and customer churn from unmet expectations. The remedy is to focus on systems and accountability. Spatially, keep your accounting and legal areas professional and organized. As a process, ensure all contracts are impeccably clear and fair, and implement a robust customer success program. Symbolically, use colors like dark blue or gray to evoke professionalism. 5.8 The Northwest Zone of Communication and Flow. The Northwest is the zone of movement, ruled by Vastu, the god of the wind who governs communication, support, and the flow of information. The problems in a blocked Vastu zone create stagnation, poor internal communication, departmental silos, logistical nightmares, and weak customer support. The remedy is to get the winds flowing again. Spatially, ensure the area allows for easy movement and good ventilation. As a process, invest in excellent communication tools and streamline your support and logistics systems to remove bottlenecks. Symbolically, use light, metallic colors or dynamic, flowing imagery. 5.9 The North. Zone of resources and opportunity. The North is the zone of treasure, governed by Kubera, the celestial treasurer who guards stable, accumulated wealth. The problems here are not just a lack of money, but a culture of scarcity, chronic cash flow problems and hoarding resources instead of investing them. The remedy is to create a culture of intelligent prosperity. Spatially, keep financial records secure and organized. As a process, conduct disciplined financial reviews and create clear budgets for strategic reinvestment. Symbolically, a healthy green plant or a clean mirror can represent and attract growth and opportunity. 5.10 Advanced Tuning. The Elemental Toolkit. The rituals. In the previous chapter, work by focusing intention. The physical tools used in traditional Vastu, colors, shapes, materials, work by balancing the 5 core elements. This is not magic, it is a system of elemental physics applied to psychology and environment. Every zone has a primary element, and a dosha is simply an elemental imbalance. The toolkit is logical. For example, if your sales are weak, you have a fire dosha. The remedy is to strengthen the fire element or to add the element that creates fire, which is air. If a team is too chaotic, you can balance it by introducing the controlling element, space, or the destructive element, earth. This provides a rational basis for the practical tools used by Vastu consultants, translating them from perceived superstition into a system of applied elemental psychology. 5.11 The Conductor. Playing the full chord. We have tuned the 8 notes of our operational octave. Now, we must ensure the entire chord is harmonious. This brings us back to the vertical axis in the center. The leader's role at the center is as the conductor, listening to all 8 notes and ensuring they play together. Is one section playing too loudly? Is another out of tune? The conductor's job is to make real-time adjustments to maintain the harmony of the whole. The vertical axis is the ultimate tuning fork for the entire enterprise. It answers the final question: is our beautifully tuned chord playing a meaningful piece of music? Is our entire operation grounded in our foundation and core values? This is alignment with Dharma. Is it resonating with our highest purpose and vision? This is the pursuit of our ultimate legacy. A business that has harmonized its operations but is ethically bankrupt or without a meaningful purpose is like a technically brilliant orchestra playing a soulless tune. Conclusion. The Vastu Edge, your resonant future. We began with a simple question born of frustration: how do I fix my business? We journeyed from that pain point through the grand architecture of a living enterprise, exploring its domains, its processes, its leadership, and finally, its soul. We have deconstructed an ancient, profound wisdom and rebuilt it into a practical, powerful blueprint for our complex modern world. The Vastu Edge is not a magic wand or a collection of secrets to be blindly followed. It is a new way of seeing. It is the ability to recognize the hidden patterns, the subtle energies, and the cyclical flows within your organization. It is the understanding that balance is not a static, rigid state, but a dynamic, rhythmic dance that requires constant, intelligent adjustment. A business built on these symmetrical, fractal, and timeless principles is fundamentally different. It is more resilient, more creative, more humane, and ultimately, more successful. It is in harmony with itself and with the natural laws of creation. It no longer feels like a fragile machine you are constantly struggling to fix. It feels like a powerful, living system that you have the honor and the wisdom to conduct. Go forth and build your resonant enterprise.